Namaste everyone, welcome to our weekly Interfaith dialogue. Today our speaker will be Imam Muhammad Shahidullah. He is the founder and the chairman for the Interfaith Center USA. He is from Bangladesh, long-time friend, and is part of our global movement for World Yoga community. Imam, floor is for you.
Thank you, Guruji, and thank you all the other interfaith leader. In Islamic tradition, I want to say like the peaceful greetings. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Peace be upon you. And thank you, Guruji, to give the opportunity for the sharing the idea and the discuss something about like interfaith activities in my life, especially uh, the interfaith dialogue in Islam and in the Muslim world as well. I want to introduce myself. Uh, my name is Imam Muhammad Shahidullah. I am working with now Interfaith Center of USA. It's located in Queens in New York. I was involved like in the interfaith activities in my back home, like in Bangladesh. I want to share with you like whatever we have, like the experience and like the feedback from our community and like from the different community and how it's work with like the young people and like in our own community, like the Muslim community. Actually, the interfaith dialogue is important and major issue is the present in constant world. The interfaith movement is the opportunity to engage the, you know, to other tradition, other religion, and like instant in the positive way. Uh, I want to, when Guruji tell me like, I want to share like my interfaith activities. And the yesterday I was thinking like before my born, my mom and my dad also engage with like interfaith activities and community because we are almost 11 brother and sister, and before my when I'm in my like the primary school, I saw like one auntie is called like the Pishi or Mashi in Bangladesh, and all our like brother and sister, you know, the this Pishi educate like the later or like in they always come and work with in our family, and that's why I want to say like before my born, like in my family also involved, the because my home village, the close to like the border, and this border, in Bangladesh, in this area, there's a lot of like the Christian community, and both this community and Hindu community live together and very peaceful and very, there's good the environment in Bangladesh. And when I was in college, and we have in school actually, like the fifth grade or fourth grade, in that time we have one like the teacher, the math teacher, his name the Pandit sir, and he is very good teacher in our village, and everybody knows like any difficulty, any student for the math, like everybody comes and like found the solution or solve like the math. And this the Pandit ji or this math teacher always teach us when the month of fasting will come, like the Ramadan, and he says some the story like this is fasting not only for the Muslim community, not only for the Hindu community or Hindu religion, not only for like the Buddhist community or Christian community. In our village or our area neighborhood, we have no like the Jewish or like the other faith people. That's why he mentioned only two or three, like the difference, the how, like the other people first and how we celebrate, like, the puja or like Eid or like, like, like this called like the Borodin, like the Christmas celebration. He explained a little bit and he gives some idea, like when we visit, like, with our friend, like one puja mandap, like the temple, and like the temple, the priest distributes sweet, and in our kids' time, we like the sweet, and not whatever we found right now, not this type of this. There's a different, like the small, the white sugar sweet, or like the different, the small sweet, or like small candy they distribute all the time. And we're waiting, like when puja will come, or when like a special day will come, then we like went there, and then we found some sweet and like the friendship, and like the different activities. And after that, when I was in my college or university, the Dhaka University, in that time I was involved with the like the real in our community, like the interfaith activities. I have a good friend. He also living right now in New York. His name is Shukan Gomez. He actually introduced me, the interfaith community in Dhaka, the capital of Bangladesh. And that time I'm facing some problem because I was in, like, the religious education institute. I learned from something from the Muslim special education, this called like the madrasa or something like that. And then whatever we have, like the few teacher, when they saw my picture with like the Christian people, that we are celebrating something, they confuse the hi, the Muhammad or Shahid, the what you're doing, why you like went or go here and there, and like what is your intention? And then in that time, I don't know too much about the interfaith or interfaith dialogue, or and then I'm starting to like learn from the the Notre Dame College in Bangladesh, in capital, and the one department in the Dhaka University, the comparative religion. And I found some, the book and some article. What is the interfaith, and what is the actually the destination for the interfaith group? What they want to do? The few people they are confused. Like when I'm as a Muslim bring like the Quran, or like any like my friend like the Hindu, he bring like Gita, or like the Christian bring like the Bible and read something and explain something, and then the other people, the viewers, audience, they think, oh, they want to try convert or revert like on his religion. This is like the intention, and in that time, I'm also the confused, like how can the few, or one my teacher, he advised me like how you save your own faith when you go and like you engage with like other religion, and then you feel like this part is good, and sometimes you can revert or like the convert, or you accept like this other religion. I say, no, 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 why? This is not like the interfaith activities. This is not the goal of interfaith, the dialogue, the destination. And I have like one teacher, the Qazi Nurul Islam. He's the in that time like 96 or 95. In that time, he's the chairman of like the comparative religion department, and the world religion and peace, and world religion, peace and conflict. This department, he's the in charge. And I was one, the seminar, and he explained very nicely, what is the interfaith activities, what is the interfaith dialogue, and why we involve this type of work. This is not actually for like the pressure, or like invite the people, that comes to our religion. This is not like that. We are under one God. We believe like this every each creation under one God, and then our intention, the peace, our intention, work together, our intention, how can save our next generation, our intention, how we will live in peacefully in our community. This is our intention. And then I think the Guruji and other leaders knows like every each religion they have like the different few sects, few like the different group, and the Muslim community also have like one major like the different the thinker group they call like the Shia, or another one like the Ahmadiyya Jamaat. I was in like Ahmadiyya Jamaat in Jalsa, and few people announced this is he's not like the correct Muslim, and he's not practicing real Islam. He gets some money from somewhere. That's why he involved like the different way, and he's approaching also. His face is good, his smiling is good, but his intention is not good because he is involved, the different interfaith activities, and he joined the different program. He took like the picture with like the women, and he joined some song or the different Dipali or something like that, the celebration, and he is not a good Muslim. His dress is like the Islamic dress, his face is good, but his intention is not good. Don't follow anybody him. Like somebody already announced. And this is too difficult to explain for me that I am like as a good Muslim, I believe Quran, I believe the prophetic life. I want to the follow the prophethood, like whatever his direction. But I want to work with like the different community. I enjoy like when like one my Hindu friend say we want to work together, and one Christian friend, because in that time we don't find any like the Jewish, we have only the Hindu, Christian, and Buddhist, and few atheists. That's it in our community in Bangladesh. And then I was joined in 2000 or 1999 South Asian Interfaith of the organization in Bangladesh. Me and the Shukhan Gomez, we start work seriously, and we published few Bengali article in our local newspaper that this is the interfaith concept, and we need to work for like the peace, because the lot of different type of like the community destroying, or like the negative work in our community. And that time we approach is like this is like good way, like all interfaith leader comes the one platform, and they say the terrorism not allowed in religion, and we need to save our youth generation, and like our next generation, and how we'll work. And then people are understanding. And that time we get like a lot of response from the Father Benjamin. He is one of the great leader in Bangladesh, interfaith leader. And we have Sri Onukul Institute, and like few mandirs leader also, they support the few I know like the few teacher and the journalist in Bangladesh, they always support and guide, and like try to help like the different way, and they always say how we're going to be work. And when I came in America, and then and we cannot find, especially like the Queens, like the Guruji knows, he several times he went and joined in our program, especially like our in Queens is very diverse community, and the almost like more than 50 or 75, the ethnic people live in Queens. And when I was started like 5 years ago, like the few interfaith work, we get a lot of good response from the Muslim community, from others community. And I was introduced in Guruji like 5 years or 6 years ago. And I am always with him. and he always guide us. And we have like the annual interfaith dialogue and few small program monthly and weekly. We publish some news like later, like something like that, and we try to join, the in different interfaith activities. And the one thing is positive, like we have a young group, like more than 10 or 15. Those are the college student or university student. They already understand to join and how it's going to be work, like the interfaith, and they always support with us. And this is my like the general story from my beginning until like today, was how we're going to be work and what type of the work I'm engaged. And I have like another thing. We have like online platform network to educate our faith-based community. This called like the ITV, and we done more than 30 or 34 episode, the hosted by the Dr. Nagagaki and Guruji. Also one time he was guest, and we bring every each religion or atheist people, they please come in our platform and say something and say like positively for like engage our the new generation or the new people, not only like the priest only doing the interfaith work, not only imam or pandit or like the the our the faith leader running this type of program. We want to engage our community. We want to like work like together. Thank you, Guruji. Thank you so much for giving the opportunity. Whatever you have the question, then I want to give the answer. Otherwise, I want to continue like the next.
I have a question. You know, I am a Sikh and founder of Sikhism is Guru Nanak, who visited Bangladesh during his lifetime. I don't know if you ever heard about it or not. And there are several Sikh shrines.
I heard from my, like in my school time or college time, I heard his name. And in Dhaka University, the Guru Dwara Center is like one biggest, and very peaceful. We found a lot of like the books inside in the center, and this is located inside in the Dhaka University campus. And like,
my next question is: there are a lot of Sikhs live in Queens area. You know,
yeah.
Did you have any interaction or exposure with them?
The last month I was there, and the one in the Richmond Hill, the big center, and they provide the food. Like, can you imagine? Like, I'm I can't believe before I sin. Like, they distribute more than 100 people food every day. And I was there with Mayor Bill de Blasio on there, and like the police commissioner and like the Senator John Liu. I was there. They have the celebration, I think, before Corona, and we covered most of the program.
Yeah, and then in the liberation of Bangladesh, formation of Bangladesh, the Sikh regiments, in the Indian Army played a big role under General Arora, and who took the surrender from General Niazi of Pakistan.
Yeah, I know that. I know the history.
Okay, I was just wondering if you were.
And in especially the Muslim community, in whatever I have we have friend, they believe the Sikh community is very peaceful and very organized, and we work together in Queens because a few our rights, like the turban or like the beard, how is going to be work in our workplace. We have the lobby last 4-5 years, Bangladeshi American Advocacy Group. We are doing the lobby in Albany, like those people want to wear like the turban or like they want to keep the beard like little bit longest or something like that. And the NYPD already, give the permission, like how long you're going to be keep continue like your beard. I think
Yeah.
you know that.
Yeah, well, they're not right now. There are a lot of Sikhs recruited in the law enforcement agencies in the New York State, including the New York City. But there has been most of the time, right from the time of Guru Nanak, they've been cordial relationships, because during his lifetime, it was legendary for people to say that Guru Nanak is the Guru of the Hindus and the Peer of the Muslims. That's how he was. And at the time when he passed away, his remains were divided half into where the temple was visited and built, and the other place graveyard was built. Grave was built. But then the flood came and washed away both the things, indicating to us that he belonged not just half to each community, but fully to each community. So then these things were rebuilt and still maintained by both the communities. They are very in a place called Kartarpur, where he passed away. Just for your information.
Thank you so much, Singh. That's why we need to educate our people slowly, because that's two problem. Whatever I am facing, whatever my dad or my grandpa, they don't know properly what is the interfaith work, and our next generation, they don't like interested. I'm trying to bring my kids. They say, oh, why we are spending time like this festival or this or that. They don't like. I'm trying to like friendly try to start the conversation with my kids. My kids like the 8th grade and 6th grade. They say why. They have a lot of questions. Why you wear like this type of dress? Why you wear like this type of kufi? Why you pray like 5 times? Your heart is like good. You do everything honestly is good,
Mhm.
And my son also have like he has the question that I saw like the video or like the news on the TV. The lot of like the terrorists in like the Muslim faith, like a lot of negative thing in the Middle East or IS or like the different, all are like this type of faith. Like, why you keep like this type of dress? They have a lot of questions, but sometimes I have
Of
answers,
course.
sometimes I don't.
Mhm. Thank you.
But I'm facing.
Any other question?
For me, I was interested in the question that he just answered, and that had to do with generationally. What were some of the challenges that you face with this whole concept? Do you have your senior faith followers, those who have been invested for years, versus those who are much younger, who are beginning to develop in the faith tradition and are not quite as structured in terms of how they see one particular faith as opposed to being open to others. And I just wanted you to kind of talk about that a bit. And you did, but if there, what are some of the kind of ways you're beginning to explore that you see that may be useful in helping to kind of bring that together?
Yeah. Especially in our community in Queens, like the few mosques, they have like I can mention like the Jamaica Muslim Center. They have like the youth group, and they have one imam, like the Imam Shamsi. He one of the interfaith leader. He teach like on khutbah, like the Friday sermon, the Friday special prayer we have, and before prayer he delivered like the lecture, like 30 minutes or 20 minutes. In that time, he mentioned like how we're going to be work in our community, because I'm living like one apartment. I don't know who live in our next door.
Mm-hmm.
This is not good in our but faith-based concept. As a Muslim, we need to know minimum like 20 is right side, 20 is left side, 20 is front side, 20 is back.
Mm-hmm.
Minimum we need to know like the AD property or like the family, those living in our neighbor.
Mm-hmm.
Like they need anything or I should like say hi or hello, like good morning,
Yeah.
or anybody face any problem, anybody need food, anybody need counseling, or like quarterly, like the yearly, or like the quarterly or the summertime, we need to organize like the family night or family event
Mm-hmm.
with not
Mm-hmm.
only friends, with the neighborhood. This is very important.
Yes.
But its problem, you believe or not, in my apartment, like 70 family in Queens,
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to organize. Like one guy asking, what is your intention?
Mm-hmm.
Why you want to, like he's not your friend, he's not your cousin. Why you want to organize? I try to explain that this is it, whatever he is, I want to introduce with me, I want to introduce with my kids because we're neighbors.
Mm-hmm.
We need to know each other,
Mm-hmm.
you know. I don't know, like you have Reverend, you have like any experience or no, but this is
Well,
my experience, my belief.
well, I think you're on the right track, and I appreciate what you're doing. I've been looking at some videos of one of my favorite people in the world, Judith Jameson. She was with the Alvin Ailey dance troupe, and one of the things that I've found her talking about is how she has used uh, um, a strategy that's not really in religion, but from an artistic perspective, and focus on the coming together around that activity. And then as people begin to, they kind of let fall away their commitment to faith, but focus on what is generic in terms of their whole way of expression. You know, they may like to do this, one may like the color red, one may like the yellow or blue, but they're making this thingamajig, whatever they may call it, but they all come in and they learn from that experience how to share without the intimidation of, you know, I'm a Christian, I'm a Baptist, I'm a Presbyterian, I'm Catholic, but we are focusing on a different aspect of our being. And I think you've kind of addressed that for a bit. Does that make
How
sense?
about, yeah, how about like what is the Guruji? How about like our Pandit, like Kirpal Singh? You are like, look like my dad, your face.
Yeah, I am a great believer. You know, the message from Guru Nanak is Sabbe Sanji Vals Lain Koi Nand Sevara Jiv. We are all children of the same God. You know, we
Yes.
can call different names and all. All this diversity, whether it is in religion, language, food, race, is all part of the divine plan. What we need to is we should celebrate it following the hukam. Hukam means to follow the will of the divine will. And divine is always right. So who are us to impose sameness or only one kind of thing?
Yes.
That's going anti-divine, anti-hukam. So
Yeah.
for us to accept and celebrate and let every individual flourish to the best way they can, that's what we call the Sarvadha Phala. In every prayer we end it, Nanak Nam Chardi Kala, Tere Pani Sarvadha Phala. Pana means again hukam. Sarvadha Phala means everyone's welfare. Nanak is reminding us that be grateful to the Creator, follow his hukam, and work toward the good of everyone, one and all. So that's how we try to share with our neighbors and involve with them. That's part of the Langar concept. That's why we invite everyone to the same, share food and be friends with each other.
Yeah.
That's behind it.
I saw
Thank you so much.
Shashi
Okay.
Kumar.
How about
Mohammed?
Peter Rodina?
Shashi Kumar.
Yeah. Namaskar, Imam. I'm Shashi Kumar from Kerala, India. And namaste, everybody.
Namaste.
Namaste.
My doubt is that no religion propagates violence, intolerance, and so on. But when you see around, we are meddling with intolerance, conflicts, and so on. And for decades, there were decades and centuries, there is a lot of interfaith dialogues and propagation. But day by day, the violence and intolerance is increasing. And no religion, no faith propagates for violence and intolerance. Why it is not, why the peace is not happening?
Thank you so much for your comments. Who's next? We saw the Dr. Remy Alapo, Gabriel, Rajbhushan. It's a lot of leader here. Much good.
Brother Muhammad,
Yes.
Assalamu
How are you?
alaikum.
He asked a question why violence is not stopping, because so many dialogues are going on. That's a question you had to answer it.
Especially the misconception and a few misinterpretation because the Quran revealed in Arabic, like the Arabic, the grammar and the based on linguistic, the Arabic, we cannot understand sometimes the meaning of the word, and no any authority like authorized person, like one or two person or organization explain like this is right or wrong, like one word, uh, uh, like jihad. This is the Arabic word, the jihad. When anybody heard this word, the jihad, the first impression, destroying or killing or something like that, because the media and whatever we found in Google, like jihad is very bad word, as we know. But in Arabic linguistic, jihad means like the struggle to found any good thing, like work, like the continued work to achieve the final destination. This like jihad, I can use jihad in my conversation, like me and Guruji, like in one debate. When I keep continue properly with evidence, with argument, with presentation, this process called like the jihad in Arabic word. But this word have another like meaning or another, the interpretation or explain, like, and especially like I think we know like the Arabic language or like the grammar. When we use like one word properly, the meaning is like one meaning. When you use like this word, like the different sentence or different place, the meaning will be changed. Like the Quran use like the jihad, this word, like the different place, like the different way. But we pick like one sister, sometime like one woman, she is like my mom, but the same women like somebody's sister, somebody's daughter, or somebody's like mom,
Mm-hmm.
like the one woman, because the relation, like the different way the relation, like the son call this woman mom, husband call she's my like wife, and like the dad call she's my sister. This is the problem. But we we cannot call like the one word like every each woman. The same problem we're facing, our interpretation or the meaning, the how we're going to be used like the word the properly.
Mm-hmm.
That's why the jihad one meaning like not only fighting, not only killing, not only like depriving, or not only not this type of word. You can Google right now the what is the meaning of the jihad. You found like the bunch of things. But when we use like the properly or the proper, the sentence, or when we misplace putting this word like the different, the meaning and the explain, everything will be changed. And as a Muslim and based on the Quran or Islam, the Islam, this is the Arabic word, and this meaning of the peace, the salam, the main word is salam, like the as a believer, and uh, in Arabic we call like the iman, that we are believer, and iman means the safety, that we are safe and somebody is safe from me. When we have like iman, or when we are accepting or we follow the Islam, that we are in peaceful and everybody peace from me, and we are like I am safe and everybody is safe from me. This is like the meaning of the Islam and Iman. And thank you, our leader. He mentioned like the good point, and thank you so much.
I want to add a comment over here to Cecile Kumar's question. You know, there's a too much politicization of the religions going on. There are a lot of politicians hiding under the religious garbs. There are a lot of things being said, lip service, rather than the actions behind them.
Mm-hmm.
The true religion, every religion, really, if we study, they all talk about tolerance, talk about understanding, talk about interfaith activities and all. But then you have, like, excuse me for quoting this example, my just general observation, Imam, that why would a Sunni will go and kill the people in praying Shias in the mosque, or vice versa and all. And that kind of thing happens in many religions. Those do not support the what actually the concept of peace in Islam or peace in Sikhism or any other religion is about. When we do those kind of things, or the Gurdwara fights, you know, or some other kind of problems, that's where the politicization, a hunger for power takes over instead of spiritual evolution.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
I would just like to.
Go ahead, Sister Galaxy. Go ahead.
Okay, I was just going to add one point to what he said was, you know, I'm very active in this faith movement, and what I discover is when we have these discussions and the dialogues about interfaith and how we can create opportunities to be a greater community and embracing, we preach to the choir. And those who are really outside, they take a stance and are not really engaged in activities that help them really to consider. So I just wanted to say that, because generally it's not those who are kind of creating the negatives, like the editors of newspapers, the journalists, for an example, who choose words that sell their newspapers. So they aren't usually in an interfaith dialogue discussion. They are the ones who could really help to shape what news is put out there, because if they understood to a greater degree the impact of a word that they choose, then maybe they would be less likely to choose one that caused mass disruption as opposed to one that causes a peaceful expression. And sometimes I think how we invite people to our activities to be more inclusive may be an approach.
Yeah, Brother Muhammad, Assalamu alaikum. Nice to see you. First, I want to commend all the wonderful activities you do through the Interfaith Center of USA, and I've been part of it many times. I have a couple of observations. Like in Hindu religion, we have a concept of soul. In Christianity, we have this Holy Spirit. Like that. What I'm trying to get at is that with body identification, we can be positive or negative. We can be hateful or loving. So how does the Islam religion preaches, if anything, about the concept of soul, and then with that understanding that the soul existed in every creature created by that one God? That's one point. Number two is that all this interfaith activity is wonderful. To get this message or a dialogue with the fundamental Islamists, like other groups which are trying to open their mind, what can be done, what we can do, what you can do, collectively, how we can go about it. Thank you very much. God bless you.
Thank you. The first thing, whatever we believe and from the Quran and the prophetic verse, like we believe like soul created by creator God, like we call Allah or like the different word, and soul exists in the world and hereafter. This body is nothing. This body only the carry in the earth, the soul, and soul will be like whatever we do, we did in the earth, and then hereafter we'll get like the positive or negative, like the reward or like the punishment. You know, this is our belief, and like the body, this is after like death, it will be vanish with the time or something like that. And the soul always think positively by born, and after that we have like knowledge, and we have experience. The knowledge, experience, and the guidance, like like send like the different way. But we believe like soul created by God at once, like we are under one God, and He created like long time, like before or at once. But the people are coming, the process. This is the one of the process to born and death. This is like one of the process. And the second thing, like as a Muslim, like 2 days ago, like one organization, they organized like the prayer for like the cure our president. The president is sick, the Trump, and they organize one special prayer, and they invite me, and they say, as a Muslim, like you will join and like the pray for our president because he is sick, his family or White House stuff, whatever. And that time before prayer, like one young guy, he asking the question, as a Muslim, are you? It is the permissible in Islam to pray for the Jewish or Christian or other faith people? And I was mentioned one example, like our Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. he was in Medina, and one young guy, he actually the Jewish, he most of the time he joined the breakfast time or like the evening time in the prophetic place that the mosque, this is called Masjid al-Nabawi in Medina, in the city of Saudi Arabia. And a few days he absent. And the prophet asked, where is he? We cannot find out him. And what companion he mentioned after one day that he's sick. And the right way prophet went to this Jewish house. He asking and like he tried to take care, and everybody understand the how we pray for the people, for the humanity, not based on faith, not based on color or race or religion. And then we did like the prayer for the president and for like the whole over the world. Those are sick or illness, those are died, we pray for everybody. Thank you, Brother Bhushan.
Thank you. Last word.
Now,
Islam
now-
is I shall love all mankind.
Yeah, you all, thank you so much.
Ma'am,
Yes.
one doubt. So I gathered from your statement that every soul is originated from the great God Almighty. So then why, see, the origin of the soul, origin of every creature is from God, and a soul is originated from God Almighty, then why there is difference in the actions of the individuals? Since we have originated from the same place, we are supposed to possess same quality. But in fact, when we are looking, it is not like that. Why this variation? First thing. Second part, you mentioned the story of the great prophet at Medina, and prophets and masters, they don't have any religion, they don't have any sect. They are for the humanity. And they treat everybody equally. But then why the followers like us, we are standing in different compartments and we are treating others as a different sect or different community and so on? There are two questions, two doubts.
Thank you so much. The first one, whatever in my knowledge, in Islam, the Prophet said, this is like when you have like the difference of like the thinking, this is the beauty. Because the God created all the creation. Like when God need only the worship, he create only the angel group, that's it. Why he created like the man, why he created the different, the animal or like the different creation, why? Because the God enjoy, the creation, whatever we do, because one thing, like our prophet mentioned, like when we do or done any the bad thing, it's called like the sin. And the right after sin, when we repent to God, then God will be happy. Nobody do any bad thing, any corruption or anything. No need like the repents, no need like to prayer, no need like to go back in the God. This is whatever in my knowledge, this is the beauty of God, like the differences, like the different religion or different concept or different faith, and the different location that God sent the different leader, the faith leader, and everybody say like the same word. We worship like one God, and we spread this peace. We want to do serve in our as a humanity. We are not only for like this community or this religion or this part. We are for like the whole of the world. This is the first thing. The second thing, like obviously the prophet for like every each religion, like every each leader. Like I read like one book in the history, like one group, they say like uh, in the Middle East, I think, or somewhere, they say like every each religion leader, our prophet, because the Quran mentioned like one verse, like the God mentioned that I am sending like the prophet, like the different zone and different ethnicity and different group every each time, and like the uh, all the time we are sending like the different way. And when explain somebody like this verse, they mention like not only like the Islam or Muslim, the God sent the prophet. Every each religion they have like the look like the prophet or like the special like the messenger from the God. And this is like the true, and they mention I was read like the 5 to 7 years, I cannot mention right now the book name. They mention, and whatever we do as an interfaith leader, we believe like we are under one God, and our mission, vision, and activities, everything in the straight path is one goal, one destination. Thank you so much.
That's a great thoughts, Imam. But how we can practically spread this knowledge and get the humanity educated that we are originated from the same place and we are really blood brothers and sisters. Until and unless we spread the message effectively, the unification or the peace and happiness will not be take place. So what you can
Yeah.
offer to say effectively spreading this message to the humanity, to the regions, these political parties, and all the great leaders to come together and work for the oneness, and they should know that we are all originated from the same place, and therefore we should work together with peace and love. And what are the measurements? What are the ideas you can propagate for that?
Thank you. Whatever the mention, the our our leader Kirpal Singh mentioned like one thing, because the international politics, when you read like the post civilization or like postmodernism article, then you're going to be found some points like the international politics, like the international trading, the business, and like those like international leader like hunger the power, you know they have like the wars like research, and they have like the different way how they're going to be make money, how they're going to be handle like the the whole over the world, because like those people are doing like the drug business, those people are selling like the arms. We know the story, the lot of story, the in the Google. And in my observation, I want to start from myself. I want to start from my home. That's why I want to work with my neighbor. Those people live in my apartment. I want to start from here. I can do in like right now the whole New York or whole America or like whole over the world. I want to start from myself, my family, my neighborhood. We are under one God. We are under one community, and our destination is one. And this is my comments and observation, because sometime when I was in like the few mosque or like few our senior faith leader, and they say like you are a small guy, why you raise boys like this type of word, like this is not your job. We have like a lot of think tanker, we have a lot of international leader, like they mentioned, like the Makkah, like the holy, the mosque imam can raise this type of voice. You are a small guy. You do yourself. Why you say like we want to work together? Why you went like the other faith people? You want to lose your faith? I'm saying no, I can't. But I want to work together. That's it. And your question is very valid. It's very important, but answer is the big research, because behind me somebody tried to dominate me, somebody tried to feed me like his product. They have a lot of promotion, they have a lot of different way to, I'm not like used to like the modern technology to buy or use, but they pressure me. And they like my now phone is version is not working. Why? Because this company try to introduce next month the new product, and this product software is not working properly. What can I do? We need to buy the new one. The when I'm practicing like the Islam or like the prayer in mosques, somebody try to dominate me, somebody try to push me, somebody or someone try to do something. That's why we have like the different group, we have like the different, the process and thing. But we want to start from myself, my home, my neighborhood, my country, my city. We want to work together. And my belief, day by day, it will be increased, because whatever I know that this Guruji, he working himself almost more than 30 years. His life and work, everything for humanity, for the people, for he cannot save money. Like the 30 years, one guy can drive in taxi in New York. He can be make like $5 million or $2 million or $1 million, buy like 10 houses. But Guruji, he cannot buy like the 5 house or like the Lamborghini or like the new model phone. He's working for humanity. He's working, try to connect the people. That's why I'm here. Thank you, Sanatan, for your question. And I think I'm trying to my best, whatever in my knowledge. I'm still to learn, from the other community, other faith.
If I may add, I concur with you, Imam. The change really starts locally. We cannot have a global vision without a local change. It has to begin. We have examples in front of us. The one Christ, one Muhammad, one Nanak, and one Buddha, and name it the same way. It all started from one person. And that's where I think we owe to ourselves within our local areas, wherever we live. That's where the change will have to begin. And then it'll snowball into a global vision, but not global vision first and local change later, not the other way around. It won't happen, and I don't think it has happened in the history of civilization.
Thank you.
Dr. Remy?
I would agree with that, because my whole attitude is I need to clean my house before I go to somebody else's.
Yes, Remy.
How are you?
Hi, namaste. Hi, Imam Mohammed. Good to see you. Thank you so much for your presentation and for the contribution of everyone. And, it's always been, very good listening to diverse perspective from the diverse religious leaders. It is true we have our individual faith beliefs, which are most times, superseded by our maybe cultural beliefs or the way that we actually understand a religion or our tradition, religious tradition, may be influenced by culture or the people that are close within a community and some of their shared experiences or even some of their values. In the case of Islam, there are many different, divisions, or I would say different types of, you know, I don't know how to say, there are different, you know, I don't know if to say movements or divisions or sections in Islam, the same way with Christianity. In the Christian faith, you have Episcopal, you have Baptist, you have, Catholic, you have Reformed, this and that. But the central and unifying theme and belief is that irrespective of the way we think or, our shared experiences, the people around us, our cultures, our traditions, even religious doctrine, there's one unifying theme. Every single religion or belief you have on this earth, even those who are atheists, at least they believe in something. There's a higher being, a supernatural being, something or someone, that is higher, than the human. And this is what most of us don't keep in mind, that our actions, our day-to-day actions, are looked upon or guided by certain principles or certain beliefs of a higher being in the universe. It may be energy, it may be a force of, energy that controls the way that people think or, shapes what's happening in their society. So many of us spend most of our time in being influenced by what other people have to tell us. The way one person feels should not be a determinant factor in the way that we feel and the way that we judge our next human being or our neighbor. And I particularly like what Imam Muhammad said, that instead of going all over the world trying to convert every, sorry for my lack of other language, Tom, Dick, and Harry, you should start with yourself, start within your home, start with your neighbors, start with, close-knit circle of people. When you gather this understanding and the way to interact or, acknowledge each other, then you start moving into different circles. The mistake many people make, if you look at the religions, like traditional religions, like, before we had Protestant, of, from the Christian background, people were being forced to actually believe in a certain type of religion, which they, at the time was used in dominating societies and controlling them. It's the same way when we have jihadist Muslims. Islam is a religion of peace, and it's not every Muslim that is a jihadist. It's not every Muslim that is a terrorist. But, when you say, a Muslim, who is a Muslim to you? For heaven's sake, Mr. Kappa Singh can pass for a Muslim for all I care if he takes off his turban. I can pass for a Muslim, and believe it or not, I'm a Christian.
And a lot of people wouldn't even be able to make that distinction, and it wouldn't matter.
No, they wouldn't
But
even be
right.
able to.
Yeah.
But we're so influenced by third party instead of our own innate inner beliefs of, the love that is within that we can extend to our fellow neighbors or, human beings. So when Guru Dileepji was asking, about violence and how to stop it, is a big question, because we had some discussion last week also about violence. How do you stop violence? What are we talking about? Non-violence. Is it everyone that is a pacifist? In certain societies, you're taught to be pacifist, to be a pacifist. Turn the other cheek. Even it's in the Bible. If your fellow man wrongs you, turn the other cheek, let them slap you. But in today's society, if people are hungry, if they're homeless, if they're facing a lot of racism, if they're unemployed, so, so many factors, how long are they going to turn the other cheek? One day they're going to explode. They're going to reflex and explode because we don't understand what's going on within. So, you know, my 2 cents is that we always should start from within, be that change for you to convert other people, convert yourself, live that, you know, conversion, live it, let other people see you, and you won't even have to tell them anything. You won't even have to force them. You won't even have to have a conversation, but when they see your leadership, when they see the type of person you are in the society, the type of work you do, they will want to emulate you if they're serious about being changed or about that change. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Remy.
You're
For your
welcome.
comments. Yeah.
Samarpan from Himalayas.
It's
So,
beautiful, really. So you summarized it very well, Reverend. Change must begin
namaskar
somewhere.
to the special Imam and to the Guruji and to the all interfaith leaders. So I have one special question to the Imamji. I call G. Actually, we must think a little bit practically how to implement the science.
Swamiji is cutting off. Can you write on the chat box?
Sound is not clear. Sorry.
Yeah, put it on the chat box. Just write it on chat box. We'll read it for him. Peter, do you have any?
Not only dialects, not only talks, that will do many dialects. Okay. I just try like this. Can you hear me?
Just
Yes.
I can
yeah.
stop the video.
Okay.
Then it's better can the sound.
Okay.
Yes, I try.
Please repeat the comments and question. Guruji?
Because I cannot hear. Seems like he lost. Swami Samarpan, you can write on the chat box. I'll read it for him. Okay. So in between that time, Pete can go forward.
Yeah, thank you, Imam Muhammad. Nice to see you again, and thank you, everybody. My thoughts were I was listening to the discussion, especially. Well, first of all, isn't there like there's a lot of people, and the way you describe Bangladesh as being a place of interfaith peace in general, there's a lot of people there, right? There's like 160 million, if I remember, and that is kind of extraordinary to hear such a large number that has relative peace in the interfaith communities. So that was my first kind of impression on what you were saying. But the discussion about what it's going to take in order to acknowledge and take advantage of the fact that all major religions agree in their pursuits of peace and their valuing of peace. I think the one part that hasn't been discussed yet is the importance of the education at the youngest level, and the thoughts I heard before about the actions that we could take today, I look at as being correct and tactical, but the more strategic actions of making sure that the curriculum teach the differences in a way that is productive and that aligns the compasses of youth as they're growing up, I think is as important, if not long-term more important. So that would be my comment. I enjoyed listening to the discussions on the soul and everything. Every part of this is always really good. So thank you very much.
I believe I concur with Pete that seeds of peace, seeds of tolerance, seeds of mutual understanding must be sown in the childhood. As the children grow and learn from their personal experiences, then it'll grow into a more worldwide movement. Thank you.
I was also I was taken, and I enjoyed the discussion about you trying to bring a sense of tighter community in with your apartment building, and I've seen that from growing up. My parents grew up in Greenwich Village, so I had the great opportunity when I was young to visit a lot of apartments in around there, visiting friends and family and so on. And there was, especially back in the 60s and early 70s, a much more feeling of neighborhood that I think has been lost in the village and is struggling in different parts of New York City, and I'm sure the world. But I would encourage you to keep trying. And if you want, I'd be happy to take one of the Peace Lights TVs that were donated and let you put it in your lobby of your building to help you in your efforts. I think the message that culturally where I come from, this is the norm, and I wanted to share that. I think is a great message. So thanks again.
There's a question from Swami from Himalaya. Why so many wars in the name of the religions? How Islam can help? How we can implement practically in the world? What are the practical techniques? It is in the chat box.
Oh. The first, I want to thank you, the Himalayan, for asking the question and participant. Yeah. The first thing, what is the concept of religion? We need to understand the religion, in my understanding level, the way of life. This is like the culture. What I am doing from the beginning of the day, what I am doing or done end of the day, the whole life. This is not only like the religion, not only like the prayer, not only fasting, not only donating some money. The concept of religion, concept of the faith, the what I am doing, what I am believe, what I am own in my mind, in my sense, and what I'm doing with my body, with my like eyes, with my hand. This is the concept of religion. But the Islam is not only like the religion, whatever Islamic, the philosopher mentioned like on the book, this is the way of life. And in our the daily life, in this era, we divide the religion. This is like one part, and like our work is another part, our daily life is another part. That's why we try to fixing like few minutes or few hours only for prayer. But this is not concept. When I'm sleeping, this is also part of my religion, part of my faith. This is also like this called like the worship. This everything is like positively like the worship, or everything is the part of our faith. When I'm wearing like the dress, when when I'm eating like some food, why is some like the one religion they try to find out the kosher, we try to find out like the halal? Why? Because this is also the part of our religion. This is also part of our faith. That's why we try to like when we live, when we sleep, when we eat, when we like make any transaction, as that everything under or covered in our faith. Yes, Guruji.
Gabriel.
Hello, Imam. How are you?
Thank you. How are you? This after a long time. I saw your page there, like a lot of activities on Facebook.
Yes. Nice to see you again. The thing about speaking at the end is many times other people ask you the questions that you were going to ask. So I had to keep thinking of different things. And one of the areas that was covered is the accrued animosity and the indifference, the animosity over time of all of the different religions that have, in the name of religion, the people that have not understood what it's really about and have attacked each other in crusades and all of these different things all around the world. As you mentioned before, every religion has had people that have not understood the principles, and in the name of religion, just like in the name of politics and other things, people will misuse and look for a reason to have to bring out the animosity or the evil energy that they somehow get attached to. It's very challenging disarming the violent-minded people, especially if there's over centuries, over time, in their mind, they'll say, our people were attacked by these people, and now we cannot trust these people. So the practical solution in many of these cases is not a simple thing at all. It's not just, you talk to somebody and oh, I understand now, no problem. As Pete said, it seems like something that if it's done at an early age, at a certain time, it's something that's very grounded and integrated and very easy to incorporate throughout the rest of the life. Whereas if it's later on, like in the case, Frank Kaufman spoke.
Yeah, continue.
Okay. Frank Kaufman spoke a few weeks ago. He was in a conference. Guruji, I can hear a conversation. Sorry.
Only speaker and the person who giving a question keep unmute. All other people should be muted. Okay.
Thank you. That Frank Kaufman spoke a few weeks ago. He was in a conference and they had made a decision that they were going to finalize of peace, and all of a sudden someone, one of the Muslims had spoken out, who is this Kaufman? Why does he come here? And all of a sudden everything that was going towards peace in a moment could have been threatened. And he had to find a solution to go within and find something that fortunately was the solution that worked. But there are these moments where these threatening things come up to the surface, and it's very challenging to educate somebody seemingly who's been trained in that way for a very long time. It's not just so simple to tell them one thing and then all of a sudden they just get it all of a sudden. There's a lot of built up hostility and confusion throughout the time, so it doesn't seem very simple. And the practical solution is what's necessary. It needs to be something that's grounded, that's firm, that reaches out not just to one people or some people, but the different groups, the different ways of thinking, the different minded people. All of the stuff seem to have to be addressed, and on a practical level. And also I applaud you, Imam, on an uncomfortable level, because there's a lot of attack energy against Islam, and there's a lot of there are a lot of points that people bring up to Islam where it's very difficult for the leaders, such as certain groups of people, certain factions that are arming themselves for another war against all non-Muslims to wipe out, exterminate any non-Muslim, non-believer off the face of this earth. And I understand that that's a very serious work that needs to be done. And I applaud you for your efforts to bring everyone together, regardless if it's in the name of interfaith, interreligion. The name for me does not matter as much. It's about bringing the people together. It's about the spirit and the energy of union and communion and coming together. So I applaud you for your efforts, Imam.
Thank you so much. And I found like another question. Why today many people join yoga from their own religion? Actually, yoga, like one term, like one word. Like as a Muslim, we're using like the Arabic word, the same thing. This called like murakaba, or like a meditation, like the different word actually. But we already mentioned, like the same work or the same thing we do like the different way using like the different word. This is my observation, and I think Guruji can explain a little bit.
Right. Actually, one. Actually, people have different culture and the practices, but somehow those who thinkers, if they think universally, they are not going to listen to somebody, those who are not practicing. You know, a lot of time people preach, but in the personal life, it will be totally different. And in that case, they look for other teachings. When you go to the personal practice, yoga meant for personal practice, physical, mental, and spiritual. No other religious teachings bring from the ancient level other than the yogic philosophy. This is not a Hindu philosophy, it's a yogic philosophy. There's no religion with yoga. That's the way it is. But Hindus promote that one, so they have the credibility to say, oh, we are part of it. That's why we oppose to have a International Day of Yoga on Shivaratri. I am the first person opposing. And we made it on June 21st. We want everything to be universal. That worked very well, including 177 countries supported at the UN for that resolution. Only 2 Muslim countries didn't support. But now we have teachers in those countries. And they have to listen to the UN. That's the way it happened. So how much we can hide things, that's a limit. We cannot fool people, you know. People are more open and more access to all the knowledge around the world. So they'll open up themselves and they go for what is the truth. That's why you see people come to India to learn things, or Indian masters come to abroad and they promote it. So now you see very easy to mobilize interfaith activities because of the different activities from the religious perspective, or the interfaith, or yoga, or cultural, or international integration camps, or the youth movements, even United Nations, the broad world as it is now. Earlier, there's no way to communicate. Now, there's an open platform we have. Even though last 75 years, UN cannot implement the stopping of all the war, still going on, but they can do certain things in certain level. I hope everything will change soon in the rules and regulations with the Security Council and all the stuff. But it is a long process. At least it's not a big fight between multiple countries now. No World War III, as far there's no problem. That's the best part we see. But we know still we need more dialogue. The history brought a lot of sad news from different experience, but we cannot live in the history. We had to learn something from the history, and we go for the future beautiful life. We had to create it. What we learned from the past, we had to find out what's the mistake we did. We had to overcome those mistakes from the future. So otherwise, there's no hope. So we need a hope, and we had to learn lessons from the past. Whatever we have, our personal life or the social life, then move forward. That's the way it is. So yoga brought more openness to in different countries. So I'm glad that's going on very well. Even Muslims or Jewish or Christians can practice. They're accepting that one. That's great. You know, even Catholic community too. I had to appreciate that part. And
thank you, Guruji, for organizing, and thank you all the leaders from my start from my.
Thank you for thanking me. I want to ask a question, because you came from Bangladesh as an immigrant. Bangladesh became the Muslim majority country, even though it was originated from the indigenous, then moved to the Hindu country, you know, majority, then became the Muslim country. And you became as an immigrant here, and it's very hard for you to tackle the situation with the religious people and the friends, you know. Then we met, they came to our events. That's where we start the move, right? And now you mentioned about your children, they are not going to listen that much, because they're living in a different world. What you understand, what you think, they are not going to think like that. They have their own world. And they may marry somebody from other religion or faith or non-religious person. So how do you tackle that situation? That's my question.
Thank you. When I was in America, like one elder brother, he mentioned like three things. Like the Muhammad, you should be careful, like your culture, like your religion and your language. You will cannot continue after 5 years or 10 years with whatever you have backend, like you bring. He mentioned like when I was here, but I'm trying to practice like our language. I'm trying to practice in our religion in home, and we spend some time with our kids. I have three kids. We spend some time with them to play, to watch some video, to they are the first they feel very bad. They say this is the boring. We don't like to hear the lecture. We cannot join like the mosque or the park interfaith program. The first they say like the different. When we give some option, like you want to play every day like half an hour, you should be join weekly like our this type of program. You want like this toy, you should be talk with me minimum like 10 minutes or 20 minutes. We give some option. Now they are trying to practicing, but still they have like the remote class right now from like 8 to 2. And when they went in the school physically, they have the friend, they're talking, practicing. They know like the Netflix like release, like which movie, like tomorrow. They know like the technology, like mm, the one American company buy like the TikTok. Before that, the president tried to ban the TikTok activity. They always try to the talk with us like the technology, like the culture, like or where is like the virtual show, like which movie will be released. But end of the day, we try to give some idea the what is our faith, what is our culture, and where we're from. And now we are in America. We need to follow and practice like the American, our culture, like our social activities, engagement. But whatever we have experienced in our community, whatever Guruji mentioned, like we have like the third generation, few people in coins, the son, the Mary, like the Jewish girl, the daughter, like the Mary, like the atheist, like the boy. And after 18, we cannot do anything. But we try to make relation friendly. We try to talk with them. We try to spend some time because I think Guruji and other faith leader, like this 2 or 3 days ago, one young guy, he little bit upset. He had like the job, like more than $150,000 job in Manhattan. He losing the job like 3 months ago or like in the pandemic time, and he little bit upset. He always like the make kawas with the parents and bargaining in different way. And he like 3 days ago he tried to drive like with the parents, but parents say no, you don't drive because your mind is not well, not set up is good. But when he left the car, the right way, he had the accident on the road and he died. And the parents, they, the mention in the funeral, they please give some time with the kids, and stay with them and try to make friendship. This is very important. Otherwise, we belong our back religion or back culture or back custom, and they hate day by day. They cannot understand, our culture. They cannot keep to continue our language, and because they most of the day, most of the time they spend on the computer or the game or with the friends, they talking like the different way, they use like the different culture, they share like the different thing, and we try to push, we try to pressure. This is not good way. The my observation, we try to make the friendship with our kids and try to give some idea, and then they understand little bit. Otherwise, we lose them, we lose like the culture or like the religion or the practice. Thank you, Guruji. Guruji, you mute, unmute. Please.
I know Remy has an announcement. Remy. Hallelujah, Remy. What happened? I'll give you a record 1 minute. Remy.
Special thanks to Shashi Kumar. I think is midnight in India, right? Thank you so much for your comments and your speech. Thank you, Reverend Dr. Dileepji. Thank you,
Shashi is my
Jibril.
close friend. He's the ambassador for the Parliament of World Religions.
Oh, okay.
I don't know what happened to me. Anyway, 14th, October 14th is Remy's birthday. So we are going to celebrate. That is on
celebrate.
Wednesday. Yeah, it's falling on Wednesday. We are going to host her program. She wanted to have an interfaith prayer service. I said, okay, we'll go with it. And 24th is a 75th annual celebration for the United Nations. That's also, we are thinking about bringing different NGOs to have a dialogue and see how they want to plan it. Are they going to open up for everybody or not? No idea. So we have time. So let us see.
Yeah, sorry, Dileepji, I saw your call. I'm
go.
working also with the census, so I had to respond to some enumerators.
Okay, so you can announce your program.
Yes. So next Wednesday is my 45th birthday, October 14. So I would like to invite all of you and your other colleagues for a program that we're going to host together with World Yoga Community. So I figured that would be a good time to have people join us for celebratory wishes, or
so we keep
if
12
you
o'clock
have any
time, right?
prayer. Sorry?
Are we going to leave it 12 o'clock, correct?
Yes, let's do it 12 o'clock, the regular time.
Okay. So how many hours we need?
And sorry?
How many hours do we need?
The phone is, well, I'm thinking from 12 to 2:30, something like that.
Okay.
And if it goes longer, we'll accommodate a few people.
Correct.
But if you would like to be on the program to speak, you can let Guru Dileepji know or myself.
Correct.
And we'll try to call those people first, right, so that they can speak, or whatever messages or prayers or music or anything that you would like to share. All right. So I invite you to share
how many minutes we have to give each person? 4
well,
to 5?
It depends on how many people are there, how many people show up.
Okay.
So if we have, tons of people, then maybe 3 minutes for our group.
Correct.
And other people can take 1 minute.
Right.
There are other people also from other groups.
Yes.
And I think we should do like be there.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. So I'll make the flyer. So then inform everybody. Okay, that's good.
So when COVID is over, we'll get together and have some cake and food and everything, but for now we'll eat virtual cake and virtual drinks together.
Correct. That's a good idea.
Well, happy birthday, Dr. Remy.
Thank you so much.
Will we have some virtual African food?
Rice and beans.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes, some virtual fufu and everything,
Yes, good.
Plantain and the chicken wings and legs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Happy birthday, Dr. Remy, and it helps us keep our weight under control. Having virtual cake.
So last Sunday we had a good number of people. Over 3,000 people watched our program.
Yes.
Then we got 3 proclamations, 1 citation, 1 letter from governor and mayor called me. So that's also good. And I know White House also got the message, but we don't have to worry about him. So
that's very nice.
So that's good. And at least group is getting involved in different areas. And tomorrow we are starting an online silent meditation through the UN NGOs. We'll have the prayer room in the streaming. And that is 30 minutes straight silent meditation every Thursday. And they may arrange dialogue. I don't know what they are going to plan it. No idea. We are talking with the organizers. So we are going to host the session. So they will control it. I just support. That's why. The first time in the history, worldwide silent meditation from the UN group. So let us see. And UN Day, if they join together, then it's great. So I just making the backup drops and all this stuff. It'll be fun. Let us see how. This is the backup drops. But I have to see the legal status with it. But last event, I invited more than 200 leaders from the UN. I heard back only from 100. 100 people are still silent. They don't have time to answer to my email. Usually they answer within 24 hours. That shows there's no support. But we rock it very well. We rock it very well. Because we are doing for the people, not for our personal use. So I know whoever want to be open up themselves and partner with us, fine. So that's good. I'm glad all are coming together, something happening. So you have to get more youth. That's another project I was talking to Ambassador Chowdhury. Next summer, we want to do a global youth program. So now we have this Zoom and we know how to handle the Zoom. Last event, over 12 people were not able to enter because of the protection plan, And I am happy not to have a protection, but we don't want hackers to enter inside. So this small group is not a big deal, because we all are on Facebook, easy to communicate. But if it is a big group, we can give the password and the ID to only to our friends circle, very close friends. Otherwise, we cannot give. So we can have 100 people. A lot of time people come and go, so it's easy to handle it. Today, I was trying to stream it. Somehow it's not working. I saw Remy was asking what happened to the showing the spotlight. I am trying. It didn't work out. Anyway, we have the recording, so I'll put it on the YouTube tonight so people can watch. So that's the situation. So already 150. I know it's too late for India. Especially Shashimar had to work tomorrow. He's a inspector in the income tax department, and he's an advisor to one of the ashram, Shantigiri ashram, where we did events last 2 years. He was hosting our events, and is the ambassador to the Parliament of World Religion. And I know Doris already met him at the Parliament.
Yes.
Yeah. So anyway, I'm happy Muhammad was able to speak today. He's with me a long time. So thank you everyone. Those who are interested, please let me know about tomorrow. I can give you the password and the ID. You can join the group.
What time is the meditation tomorrow?
12 sharp. 12 to 12:30
12,
meditation.
okay.
Right. And they may do little discussion because we don't want to spend too much time because we have every day different groups. 12 to 1 is only 1 hour. It will go very fast. And 30 minutes silent meditation is too long for a lot of people. 10 minutes they can handle it. This is a commitment.
Yeah.
So earlier I mentioned to the group, but they didn't understand what is it. Now, after some of our events, they understood. We go further, And one of the committee, I asked them to bring more interfaith people from around the world, and they don't want to open to the public. So we had to figure out how we can open to the public all the UN activities from the NGOs. I am thinking about it because that's very important for people to educate themselves. That's a part when Shashimar was asking the question, the Samarpan was asking the question, because we need an action plan, otherwise nothing will happen. So great masters came, and even their disciples make the mistakes too. So that understanding ability should expand. That's only through the personal practices. Even Muhammad had a hard time coming to our events. People criticize him, and slowly he got the courage to talk what's the truth. I heard that from his mouth today. That's the thing we had to bring it. What happened? What the troubles we are facing? If somebody is criticizing him, we are going to support him. No, you cannot insult him because we know what he said.
Yes. Yes.
So he don't have to worry about what Muslims are thinking about me. I lose my friends. No, we are here. That's the way we had to move. This is like a global family. We are supposed to support our people. So
yes.
We don't have to worry about it.
Yes.
Right. I go through my personal experience. I was thrown out from my friends and my relatives. I took the challenge. Whatever happening. That's the way I move. So I know what it is. So thank you, everyone. See you very soon. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you, Guru. I'll be there tomorrow.
Yeah. Okay.
The UPF has a 12 o'clock prayer thing that I participate in, so I may not be there for the whole session.
Okay.
Okay, but I'll be there.
Yeah. Thanks.
Thank you.